was saying after last night's ball game, he hoped his team would take a different route to Citizens Bank Park tonight for Game 2 against the Chicago Cubs. The Cubs, the first team in Major League Baseball to reach 40 victories. They have been dominant, and that dominance has carried over against the Phillies, not only offensively, but also with their starting staff. Look what the starters have done in the 4-game series. John Lester has pitched twice, and he has 16 strikeouts in 14 1/3 innings. Tonight is Game 2 for Kyle Hendricks in this season series. The Phils, last time, they managed only 1 run over 9 innings. Hi, everybody. I'm Tom McCarthy, joined by Ben Davis and Matt Stairs. We get set for tonight's Game 2 of this 3-game series, and for the second time, Matt, they'll deal with Kyle Hendricks. The last time out, it didn't go well for the Phillies. He was dominant, but not in an overpowering way.
Well, he's not overpowering. What it is, he's a very smart pitcher. He knows he's not going to be able to go out there and knock the bats out of the hitter's hands. He's a guy that relies on being able to spot the fastball in and out. What I was very impressed with this game in Chicago was the fact that everything he threw was knee and down. So he wanted to start just above the knees, try to get that late movement. He had a very good changeup working, and we all know he's not overpowering. He throws 87, 88. But if you have a hard time spotting his fastball, he can always rely on the great changeup because it almost has a split-finger fastball action, like right there to camera up. I'm just very impressed because he relies on the ground balls and he relies on his defense behind him to make the plays.
How would you approach him the second time around?
Well, for me, I think I'd love facing guys that throw sinkers and changeup. I would love to see the hitters get on top of home plate and really just try to hit that ball. Everyone talks about, hey, move up in the box. No, I want to see guys get in the back of the box, hit the ball at the end of the sink. And for left-handers, try to pull the ball. I think you're doing them a favor if you try to hit the ball to left field or to right field. I think you really have to think gap to gap, left center, right center.
All right, well, the Phillies have a left-hander at the top of the order in Odubel Herrera. He's turned out to be a potential all-star and has done everything Pete Mackanin has asked this year.
He has, and we haven't seen Odubel really go into an extended slump. And the reason for that is because the dude can flat-out hit. Odubel Herrera, take a look at these swings. It's really the same swing every time. Gets a ball that's in, he pulls his hands in, shoots it to right. Lets the ball get deep, he shoots it to left. But it's the same swing, and if you're really on time, you hit a bullet back up the middle. Pete Mackanin has him at the top of the lineup for one reason. He can get on base. He's done it with hits, and he's done it with walks.
All right, so the on-base percentage dipped a little bit in May, but that's okay. It comes back up in June. 15 walks the last 2 months, 23 walks the first month of the season.
And he's seen a lot of pitches. If he gets behind in the count, he doesn't bother him whatsoever. He's fouling pitches off, ultimately waiting for either a good pitch to hit or a pitch to take ball 4 on. And he's done a great job thus far this season.
All right, now Pete said before the ball game, I've got a leadoff guy. Now I've got to figure out the middle of the order. We'll see if he figured it out tonight in Game 2 of this series against the Cubs. Kyle Hendricks is 11th start. Jared Eichhoff, meanwhile, making his 12th start for the Phillies. When we return to Citizens Bank Park, we'll have the lineups and first pitch. Phillies baseball is brought to you by Xfinity. Xfinity X1 will change the way you experience TV. By Toyota. For great summer deals, visit your local Toyota dealer or buy at Toyota.com today. Toyota, let's go places. By Citizens Bank. The next time you have a question about money, don't keep it to yourself. Ask a citizen. By Coca-Cola, the official soft drink of the Phils. And by Independence Blue Cross. Live fearless. Learn more at IBX.com. Determined to get out on the mound and get his warm-up pitches over with. He's ready for the start, hoping to get a victory here tonight. Let's take a look at the Cubs lineup. It's brought to you by Xfinity. Xfinity X1 will change the way you experience TV. Leading off at center field is Dexter Fowler, then Jason Hayward and Chris Bryant, who's in left field tonight. Anthony Rizzo, the first baseman, bats cleanup. Benton Zobrist his fifth. Tommy La Stella will bat sixth. In the bottom third of Montero, Russell, and Kyle Hendricks. And they'll face Jared Eichhoff, who is indeed ready to go. This will be his 12th start. He's 2-8. A league-leading 8 losses, but his earned run average is okay, 3.93. First pitch of the night is in there for a strike, and we're underway.
And has come down that ERA over the last couple starts. 4-pitch pitcher. We know about the big curveball, but he needs to mix in all 4.
No balls and 2 strikes. He kind of changed his approach his last time out against the Milwaukee Brewers, and in that game he went 6 2/3. He scattered 8 hits and 2 earned runs. He left with a 2-1 deficit. Well, so much for changing his approach. He throws the curveball with the count 0-2. 3 pitches, 1 away here in the first. And that'll bring Jason Hayward to the plate. Oh, guys, last time he threw a slider more for his out pitch than his curveball.
Well, this is just a great curveball set up by 2 very good fastballs getting ahead. And we all know the great slider, the nice curveball. Wouldn't it be great to see him have both pitches today?
Absolutely.
Including being able to spot that fastball?
Fastball last time he threw 53.5% of the time as Hayward swings at the first pitch. And they're going to say that ball fouled off his foot. Interesting. Hayward was limping immediately as he left the box. Let us take a look.
That's close.
Shame of it is you can't review it.
It looks like it changed directions.
Yeah, it did.
No balls and 1 strike to Hayward. 1 for 4 in last night's game. The 1 was a home run and a fastball inside. 1 ball, 1 strike. Boy, doesn't that change the hitting? Could have had 2 outs with 4 pitches.
Would have been nice.
Inside with a slider, and it's 2 balls and 1 strike.
It's a hard slider, 83 miles an hour.
And last time he threw the slider 25% of the time. He threw the curveball only 11% of the time. Fouled back toward the Hall of Fame club, and it evens the count up at 2-2.
I think that's a pitch right there, that changeup that you're going to see Chooch make him throw this evening.
Yeah, they sort of took a step forward in his evolution the last time out. Cameron Rupp was behind the plate that day. That one is a broken bat fly ball caught out of the air by Ryan Howard. I guess you could say that's a humpback line drive right there. 2 outs. Nissan keys to the game, boys.
Well, he hurt the Phillies last evening, and you got to prevent that. You got to keep Dexter Fowler off the bases. He can run. He can cause havoc.
Did you just change that since they got him out?
No. No, I did not.
And mine's simple. The Phillies hitters get on the plate, crowd home plate, make Hendricks get out of his routine, make him throw inside, make him pay for changing his way that he's going to approach you.
Yeah, because last time they did not do that, and it didn't end well for them. 1 ball, no strikes to Chris Bryant. Bryant 3 for 5 yesterday. And he pulls that one toward the shift, and it's past Freddie Galvis. Well, the shift has worked an awful lot this year. That time, if Galvis had played his normal position, it would have been a routine 6-3 putout. Instead, it's a single with 2 outs.
Yeah, you see the shift here, and typically Freddie would be right in that vicinity right there. But not tonight.
Chris Bryant arrived at first base, and Ryan Howard said something to him. It was probably, wish I had that shift. Anthony Rizzo's the hitter. Rizzo, second in the league in RBIs at 42. Slider in there for a strike, and it's 0-1. Rizzo with 13 home runs, hitting .260 on the year after his 3-for-5 night last night.
We talked about it last night after the game, during the game. We talked about it today in the office. That base hit he hit the last night, that pitch would have hit a right-hander.
Yeah, watching a replay of it today, you're right. There's a little bit of a chalk mark in the right side of the box. That's basically, well, that's not even where it was. It was even over more. See that chalk mark? It was over a little bit more.
Just
than that,
about right there.
Yeah. One ball, one strike to Anthony Rizzo.
That's not called plate coverage. It's called box coverage.
A high fly ball, short lefts. Ashe's in. Galvis is out. Galvis says he has it. Ashe calls him off, and the side is retired. No runs, one hit, and one man left. Nice inning for Jared Eickhoff to get things started here in South Philadelphia. The 26-year-old from Mission Viejo, California. And he's on to face the Phils for a second time this year. So far 2-0 against the Phils. Let's take a look at the Phillies lineup, brought to you by Xfinity. Xfinity X1 will change the way you experience TV. Herrera leads it off. Hernandez bats second. Then it changes a little bit. Freddie Galvis will hit third, followed by Michael Franco and Ryan Howard. Tyler Goodell's in right field. He'll bat sixth. In the bottom third of Ashe, Ruiz, and Eickhoff. And they will face Hendricks, who has 19 wins during his big league career. He's been a nice pickup for the Cubs from the Texas Rangers organization. He was traded to the Cubs for Ryan Dempster. You can see 4-4 with an ERA of 2.84.
Well, you take a look at the scouting report. We said in the opening, he is not overpowering. The average is 87. But the key for him is that everything he throws is down, and I mean down below the knees. He wants to get the swing and misses, the weak ground balls. Over his last two outings, 17 innings pitched, 8 hits is it. So let's talk about a guy pitching to contact, pitching down the bottom of the zone, and relying on his defense to make plays behind him.
Yeah, in fact, the last two starts, he followed up the 9-inning performance by the Phillies with an 8-inning performance against the Dodgers. That's not an easy lineup. Odubel Herrera will lead it off. Odubel 8 for 25 on this homestand. Last night he had one at bat as a pinch hitter and he singled. He no longer has that bat because he broke the bat on the bloop out to left field. Upstairs, 1 ball, 1 strike.
Yeah, and we talked about his last two outings, one versus the Phillies, his last outing versus the Dodgers. In both games, he threw 104 pitches, complete game against us, and 101 pitches versus the Dodgers, his last outing.
And that was an 8-inning performance.
Which I think, as a hitter, if you're aggressive against him, it's in his favor. Because he'll start pulling the string, start mixing in some curveballs. He adds and subtracts very good on his fastball.
Opposite way, foul into the seats. The Lucky McDonald's Phillies home run jackpot contestant is Ann Reebsame of Pottstown. Phillies hit a home run in today's ball game. Then Ann will win $100.
Good luck, Ann.
Little blooper out toward left, and it's caught by a leaping Addison Russell. One away here in the bottom of the first.
Wow.
Well, it was athletic, and he had it sized up from the time it left the bat.
This is athleticism at its finest. The ball kind of, I thought it was going to be a little shorter than that, honestly, and he gets back there and the last second leap. Replace your divots, please. Boy, that's a good play. He got up like it was nothing.
Cesar Hernandez swings at the first pitch. 2 quick outs. And now Freddie Galvis batting third tonight, 3 for his last 26. He had the home run last night to make it a 3-run game. It was followed by another home run to make it a 2-run game in the 9th inning. Overall 6 home runs. All 6 home runs are from the left side of the plate. Takes high, 1-0. At this rate, he's going to blow past last year's home run total. Whether that's good or bad. Opposite way down the left field line. Chris Bryant ventures over, and it's 1 ball and 1 strike.
It's good if he does it. It's bad if the game or games after he hits a home run, you see a lot of balls in the air. He's not a home run hitter. He knows that. But if he wants to create some length, the swing will get long as well. You see a lot of fly balls.
Tonight's ball game is also available in Spanish. Just use the SAP button on your television or change the language through the menu on your cable box. Opposite way again. Bryant going back on it toward the wall, and it's over his head. He misjudged it. And Freddie Galvis will pull into second base. Bryant is not an outfielder by trade.
Well, one thing, like you said, he's not an outfielder by trade, but one thing about it in the outfield is you got to realize a left-handed hitter, any ball that's hit directly at me will go over my right shoulder. He broke the wrong way, turned, ball came back over. Problem is, he did a nice job. He just didn't turn early enough. You know, that's a play. That's a play you work on a sprint training, going to the wall, and then all of a sudden you turn late. But you got to remember, though, a ball hit at you in left field from a left-hander, it will go to your right shoulder.
He looked like he had it all sized up. Maikel Franco's the hitter, and he takes outside. It has been scored a double, so it's the 11th double of the year for Freddie Galvis. And here's Franco, who Pete talked about today during his media session. He wasn't the only one that he talked about as far as his approach goes. He said there's a lot of guys that need to change their approach. Maikel is one of them. He said he's got to stop pulling off. And we saw it last night, and Pete said it was mostly evident in the 9th inning last night. One ball and 1 strike.
Now let's talk about this for a second. Yes, he's been pulling off the ball. Last night he got into a mode where there was back-to-back home runs. He is a young kid, a young player. He wants to be that guy as well. So what's he going to do?
Going to pull off, try to hit a home run.
Thank you. Now, until he realizes that that solo home run doesn't tie the ball game up, we need him to get on base. This is a learning experience when you have young players. They learn by playing the game and realizing that, oh, I need to change. I need to make an adjustment.
2 balls and 2 strikes. Well,
sorry. And that's how I see it. I know, because I know when I was a young player, I wanted to impress everybody. So yeah, you try to pull the wrong pitches, or you try to do too much.
Opposite way, base hit it to right field. Galvis is around third, heading for home. Hayward's throw goes right past Franco. The throw to second base on one hop. He's safe at second base. Great use of the other hand by Maikel Franco to get into second base. The Phillies are up 1-0.
We learned that one from Cameron Rupp, the old swim move at second base. It's a great piece of hitting and something I hope that Maikel Franco can build on. Now, what if he tries to pull that pitch? It's going to be a rollover to shortstop all day long. The head down on the baseball, the extension through it, hits it sharply. See the stutter step? Gets into second base. And there safely.
So a runner at second. Here is Ryan Howard. Howard 1 for his last 11. He takes way inside.
Matt, I agree with you that, yes, he's a young player that wants to prove what he can do. But I think that situation last night would pretty much dictate the approach you take at home plate.
Right.
He's played enough baseball in his life to realize that his solo home run there really only makes the game 6-5. You need base runners. You need to continue momentum.
No, and I agree with what you just said, but I don't think that he looked at it that way last night in that at bat.
Swing and a miss, 2-1.
And that's to say about that ball he just hit. That's the approach that he should have taken last night.
Correct.
And the reason why he got to second base in the play is that Rizzo, after he jumped, he got caught watching the play and he didn't come back to be the cutoff guy. So heads up play by Franco going to second base.
Howard takes up and in, 3-1. Tyler Goodell waits on deck. See how they pitch Howard here. First base is open. Now he is obviously not the same hitter he once was. He's still a power threat, but change up, and it's 3-2.
Well, he threw it 2-0. You had to expect him to throw it 3-1.
And a ball 4 just off the outside part of the plate. Well, that certainly didn't look like the eye of a guy who hasn't played or hasn't started since the 31st of May. Whew.
Nice AB. The fastball just off the plate.
Good eye. Mike Winters, the crew chief, is behind home plate. Mark Wagner's at first. Carlos Torres at second. And Vic Carapazza is over at third. Here's Tyler Goodell. Tyler 1 for 3 last night. Game 1 of a doubleheader between the Mets and the Pirates has gone to the Pirates 3-1. Jonathan Neese the win against his old club, 6-2. Steven Matz the loss. He's 7-2. Off the plate, back to Hendricks. Sign is retired. Phillies, though, do get a run on the RBI single by Maikel Franco. That scored Freddie Galvis. A little luck in this inning. Misplayed ball out in left field, set up that base hit. Galvis scored easily, and the Phils take a 1-0 lead into the top of the second. And the Cubs will wrap up this three-game series. It's the Citizens Bank Business Person Special, a 1:05 first pitch. Plan your day around the Phils and the Cubs. Get your tickets now by going to Phillies.com. Here's Ben Zobrist to lead it off in the top of the second, and he takes down low and away. Zobrist hitting .326. He's 5th in the league at hitting. He took last night off. He's 1 for his last 16. Ball, 1 strike. Swing and a miss, 1-2. Outside, not a bad spot with that slider. And it's 2 balls and 2 strikes. By the way, that run that Eichhoff watched the Phillies score is only the 20th that the Phillies have scored in support of him this year. In and out of the glove of Carlos, foul ball. So the Phillies are averaging about 2.5 runs while he's in the game. I mean, they're only averaging 3.1 anyway, but when he's in the game, it's the 4th lowest run support total in the National League. 2-2 pitch. In the dirt, 3-2.
I don't think that has, not only for him, but for the entire starting pitching staff, even the relievers, I don't think it's let that number affect them and how they go out and do their business.
I would agree with you on that. In fact,
they've showed no signs of letting the run support affect them.
Fly ball, shallow center field. Odubel Herrera is in. Galvis is out. Galvis says he has it. And 1 away. All right, Murph, so he's allowed 1 hit through an inning and a third here at Citizens Bank Park. That's not a surprise. He has pitched better here than on the road.
And that is why he is the subject of our Lowe's home field advantage, Tom. And you're right, he has done that. 6 starts here at Citizens Bank Park. He's 2-3. But look at the ERA, 2.27 for him here. Opponents batting just .238 against him. You go on the road, 0-5. ERA jumps up to 6.41, and an opponent's batting average of 321 against him. So yeah, absolutely, he likes pitching here, and he has had much more success this season here at Citizens Bank Park. And it's worth noting, guys, you know, you look at the ERA, you look at his record, you think to yourself that he's not pitching very well, but that is a little misleading. You take a look at what he's been able to do since being up in the big leagues. How about 14 quality starts in his first 19 starts as a big leaguer? That is pretty impressive. In fact, if he gets one tonight, makes it 15 of 20, that'll tie a Phillies record that goes back all the way to 1913. 15 quality starts in a player's first 20 starts. So Jared Eichhoff has done his job keeping the team in ball games.
Yeah, and there's one thing that he is, and we've talked about this, is that he is a competitor. As Montero takes a strike after he gets the 1 pitch out for out number 2. And a quality start is a game in which a pitcher completes at least 6 innings and permits no more than 3 earned runs during that outing. Now, a lot of the older pitchers from back 20-25 years ago would look at that and say that's nothing, but it is an important stat in today's baseball.
And the reason it's a huge stat nowadays is because the bullpen and the specialization of the bullpen. 7th inning guy, 8th inning guy, 9th inning guy.
Foul tip hung on to by Ruiz. Strikeout number 2 for Jared Eichhoff, and the Cubs go down in order. 4 in a row retired by the Phillies right-hander. He gets the Cubs 1-2-3 here in the second. We played 1.5 on to the bottom of the second. The strikeout takes us to break with the Phils up 1-0.
Crew, plenty of Phillies talk tomorrow on Bob.
Phillies catcher Cameron Rupp will join us live in studio.
We'll also be joined by CSN Phillies analyst Ricky Vitalica.
Watch us tomorrow at 6 on the Comcast Network.
Ricky Vitalico is going to get up early, Ben. You going to call him and make sure he adheres to his alarm clock?
I might.
Liar.
He'll be fine. I'll be up with the kids anyway.
1-0 Phillies as we go to the bottom of the second. Cody Ashe will lead it off. It'll be Ashe, Ruiz, and Eichhoff against Kyle Hendricks. Hendricks, like Jared Eichhoff, drafted originally by the Texas Rangers. In fact, both were drafted in the 2011 draft. Hendricks was drafted in the 8th round, and Eichhoff was drafted in the 15th round. Two of them got to know each other when they played their first year of professional baseball. Born in Southern California, went to Dartmouth. 2 balls and 1 strike. He was drafted out of high school and had a lot of other offers, decided to take the Ivy League education route, a degree which he has eventually gotten from Dartmouth. Two balls, 2 strikes to Cody. Pitch hit last night, struck out.
That's the pitch right there that he had working in Chicago, that front door sinker to left-handers. Got Freddie Galvis once in Chicago. Cesar Hernandez froze him a couple of times as well.
And a strike 3 called on the inside part of the plate. There you go. First strikeout for Hendricks. A lot of that's going to depend on the umpire if he stays with it. And Winners did. It's close.
It is. It's very close.
You take it because if you do swing at it, really nothing you're going to do with it. Hopefully just foul it off maybe over the Cubs dugout. Live to see another pitch.
Starts him off at the knees with Carlos Ruiz, and it's 0-1. Carlos hitting .226. This has been a rough go of it for Carlos. And Matt Pete was in total agreement with your assessment of Carlos with what he's doing these last couple weeks. Said it's totally the opposite of the way he was in spring training, as he loops that one out to shortstop. 2 outs and Eichhoff's coming up. Cameron Rupp has been going well. He'll play tomorrow, but Carlos, they've been working on it, but he still has been struggling lifting a little bit too much.
Well, and early in the season we saw a nice easy swing, and I don't know if he thinks he needs to lift the ball maybe to get back in the lineup a little more often, but you know, what we saw early in the season was just a nice easy relaxed swing, and now all of a sudden that left shoulder, it's almost like he's hitting uphill right now.
Over to third base, charging is La Stella. He's up with it, and Eichhoff is retired. 1-2-3, bottom of the second for Kyle Hendricks. 2 in the books here at Citizens Bank Park. Phillies 1, Cubs nothing. Log on to Phillies.com. Go to the fan section for all the information, and please submit your answer on the subject line. All right, guys, the question is, who holds the Cubs' single-season franchise record for strikeouts by a left-handed pitcher? Not a right-hander, but a left-handed pitcher. The single-season franchise record. The answer will be revealed in just a little bit. Top half of the third, Addison Russell will lead it off. It'll be Russell, Hendricks, and then Dexter Fowler against Jared Eichhoff. Eichhoff made the last out, so he gets a chance to warm up for as long as he would like, within reason. Eichhoff in his last game went 6 2/3, allowed 2 earned runs. Matt alluded to, and so did Murph, the way he's pitched recently. Over his last 3 games, that dates back to the 22nd of May, 19 2/3, 14 strikeouts, and a 2.75 ERA. It's not too shabby, but again, they haven't scored a whole lot of runs for him.
I want to see that fastball be spotted. Just don't throw a fastball and hopefully he doesn't get hit. Now I'm going to throw my curveball and slider. You come in today, Eichhoff's fastball, the leg's hitting 367. To anything that has a bump in it, the curveball, a slider, $110, $111. Fastball, changeup, 364, 367.
But you can't throw the slider and curveball all the time.
Right, which means he needs to start spotting his fastball a lot better.
Russell hitting 230. There you go. There's a little bit of a bump in that one.
There's the bump.
1 ball, 1 strike. Another little bit of a bump in it.
Little bigger bump.
Yeah.
With great location.
Well, he may get the hilly road on this one.
But if you had your confidence in your fastball, what a great time to throw a fastball in for a strike.
Well, he goes back to the slider, and it's 2-2. So 3 straight sliders.
And the only reason why I say that is because he threw 3 off-speed pitches low and away. Now as a hitter, you start diving out there. Well, it's time to stand him up straight with a fastball inside.
Check swing. Did he go? Yes, he did. Well, he went right back to the well another time. That's 5 sliders in that at bat alone. 3 strikeouts.
And to have that kind of swing on it proves to me that they're not picking up rotation. You have a check swing, you start to go after that pitch because you read fastball out of his hand. And then next thing you know, the ball's breaking down and away from you. You try and check your swing, but you can't.
Hendricks pops it up. Howard over toward the warning track, and the wind is probably going to take that out of play, and it does. Nice grab.
You know, one thing about being a good teammate, Whitey Blanco was the first guy that came up the stairs and was absolutely yelling. You can see him right here. You're gonna see someone coming up by the Phillies sign right there, and he's telling Ryan Howard how much room you have to get to the wall. That's a veteran and a good team player right there.
Curveball, and it's 1 ball and 2 strikes to Hendricks. By the way, the wind has all of a sudden shifted. It's now coming straight in. It had been going from left center to right.
First thing you look for when you get to the park.
Swing and a miss.
Second thing, what's your name in the lineup?
That's 4 strikeouts. Hey, if you're interested in bringing a group to the ballpark, whether it be for a fundraiser or just bringing a group that you hang with, well, groups of 25 or more have plenty of benefits and special options here at Citizens Bank Park. For more information, go to Phillies.com/group tickets. You bring a group, get the same shirt. Everybody will know who you are. Dexter Fowler is now the batter. He struck out his first time up. Way inside.
think strikeouts are great for any pitcher. I really do. But for Jared Eichhoff, I think they can be bad at times because he realizes with that great curveball, I can strike out a lot of guys. Then pitch count starts to creep up. You start not to use your fastball when and where you need to use it. Just as long as there's a steady balance there where you don't lose command with your other pitches, strike out as many as you want.
Well, this is what you call locating a fastball, and that's what you call getting around the fastball.
Off speed pitch, rolled over onto second base. Hernandez retires Fowler. 7 in a row retired by Jared Eichhoff. We have completed 2.5. He might even keep Whitey off balance tonight. It's 1-0 Phils as we go to the bottom of the third. Baseball is brought to you by your Delaware Valley Honda dealers. Hurry to your local Del Val Honda dealer or visit DelValHondaDealers.com. And by Jefferson, call 800-JEF now or visit jefferson.edu. Well, there's a lot of folks out at Ashburn Alley. Maybe get some Ritas, stop by and get a cheesesteak at Tony Luke's or Campo's. Visit the Galapagos gang. They're also out there. It is a beautiful night. You know, there was rain that came through the area earlier. It's cooled it off a little bit.
Feels good.
Yeah, the breeze coming in from center field. Odubel Herrera leads it off. He lined out his first time up on a fantastic play by Addison Russell. Yeah, he broke his bat. He's got a new one.
Yeah, he's Jimmy Paredes' bat.
I was going to say it's not his. Odubel fights it off.
Something about a teammate's bat at times. You'll feel his bat one day and you're like, this thing feels awesome. And you'll go ahead and use it, and then you order a dozen. And then you get your dozen and you're like, these things don't feel nearly as good as my teammates.
Fly ball to shallow right. Hayward running in. And he makes the catch. What away. So then after they don't feel right, then you auction them off to whoever wants them.
Usually the pitchers use the bats that the hitters don't like. Well, they used to. They also used to have a swing to R161, bigger barrel, help them bunt better. Now they get better wood than most players. It's ridiculous. Triple dip.
I used to use an R161 at times.
Big man.
Breaking ball, and it's 1-1 to Cesar, who swung at the first pitch and grounded out. His first time up.
But if you didn't use an R161, what did you use?
I used a C271L. And basically the L just meant it had a larger knob on the bottom.
What is the 271?
I believe it was Dave Concepcion's model.
That's what I was wondering whose it was.
C271.
So the C for Concepcion.
Yep.
As Hernandez strikes out. I wonder what the 271 stood for.
Good question.
Two outs, and here's Freddie Galvis, who started the two-out rally that led to the run for the Phillies his last time up. Thought maybe it was his batting average, but he hit 267 for his career.
That was one of the coolest things when I signed my Louisville Slugger contract. I got my own autograph on the bats. So when I ever ordered Louisville, I got the autograph. It was very cool.
You didn't go with the block lettering? You went with your
autograph?
autograph?
I didn't go with the block lettering.
One ball, one strike to Galvis. Bit low, and it's 2-1.
Your Louisville Slugger contract that lasted about 20 years.
20 years. Cal Ripken Jr. had to renew his. That's cool.
Oh, because he played more than 20 years.
Yes.
I got you. Louisville Slugger's new logo you just saw on that bat right there. Little dancing by Galvis. It's 3-2.
Didn't the Louisville Slugger P72 retire when Jeter retired? They no longer make the P72?
They call it the pea shooter?
Pea shooter. I asked DJ, I said, why in the world do you use this bat? Because it is not a good feeling bat. And he said, when I came out of high school, I wanted something that felt like an aluminum bat. This was the closest thing that felt to a metal bat.
Why?
And he used it ever since.
Swing and a miss. Galvis strikes out. And the side is retired in order. 7 in a row retired by Kyle Hendricks. We'll go to the fourth. Calvin's ready to go. It's 1-0 Phils. Jet printers deliver unmatched quality, and their Jet Intelligent toner cartridges print up to 1/3 more pages. Get yours from who but WB Mason today and experience the difference. Nobody beats WB on HP. All right, now I apologize. That's not Calvin. That's Sid, the sea lion. Bessie's there. That's Calvin. That's Calvin. And of course, we all know Iggy. So long, hat. Keep your hands off the eyes. Jason Hayward leads it off. All right, so we have some confirmation on the style of bats we were talking about. Phil Sheridan for the Phillies clubhouse. The guys in the clubhouse know these things. The C271, it was the 271st model that Louisville made. It was Concepcion. The C was for Dave Concepcion. And the P72 was retired in honor of Derek Jeter. It's the first time in the 130 years of Louisville Slugger that they retired a batter.
Now, is it because of Derek Jeter or no one used it anymore?
It said because it's in honor of Derek Jeter.
So it must be the model that he used.
Right, and I would think that it's because nobody else was using it. Check swing by Hayward. He did not go, although I think he thought he did. The specifications of the P-72 will still exist for players to order, but it will be under a new model name.
There you go.
We're going to call it, this is the quote from Louisville Slugger, we're going to call it DJ2 in recognition of Derek and his incredible career. Foul tip, Ruiz hangs on. 5 strikeouts for Eichhoff. One away. Let's check in with Greg Murphy. Murphy, got a cheesesteak update for us?
Well, I do indeed. I think we're going to have to continue to give continuous updates on the good folks over there at Campos who are vying for the best ballpark food in America. We know they're top 10. Well, guess what? Last night they came in number 4. We got the voting going, and Philadelphia came through. They have jumped ahead of, they flew by the Mahi Mahi Taco,
yes, they did,
which is good. They jumped ahead of the Crazy Crab Sandwich in San Francisco and now sit at number 2 in the country in terms of best ballpark food. We are still trailing the Parmageddon. The Parmageddon in Cleveland at Progressive Field. It's basically a glorified grilled cheese sandwich, you know, with some pierogies stuffed in the middle. That's what it is, the Parmageddon. I got to believe the Campos cheesesteak.
Pierogies stuffed in the middle.
Yeah, I mean, hey, if you like that kind of thing. But I got to believe that Philadelphia can, you know, step it up a little bit. You have until the 19th. June 19th to vote and get Campos as the best ballpark food. I know we can do it, so we'll remind you from time to time. Just got to go on to 10best.com and vote for Campos, guys, all right?
All right, well, at least they went past the cauliflower.
The cauliflower, we left that in our cheese whiz. I mean, yeah. That is way back there.
Foul ball past the third base coach's box, and it's 2-2. I want to thank the folks from Campos and Murph for setting up the cheesesteaks yesterday. They were excellent during the game, and they were even better after the game. Swing and a miss. He got it with the curveball. 6 strikeouts for Jared Eichhoff. He has 5 strikeouts against the last 6 batters.
And these are some ugly swings we're seeing against not only the slider, but obviously this breaking ball, curveball here. I read fastball, and then it's just too late to stop the swing.
Cody Ashley will sprint over toward the railing along with Freddie Galvis. It's back a few rows, and it's 0-1.
I like the fact that Eichhoff has, that last pitch he just threw, that was the 6th changeup he's thrown so far, which I think is a very important pitch for him as long as he gets it down in the zone. That's a good slider. That's almost a cutter-like action.
It is. That had more lateral movement than it had a pitch with depth.
That's what you call a lane changer.
Tried it again. A little harder that time.
Bigger bump.
It almost went right around Anthony Rizzo. Zobrist on deck. Check swing on the curve, and it's 2-2. That's the hardest fastball he's thrown tonight, 94 miles an hour. Curveball and a strike 3 called. He just struck out the side. That was a doozy. 7 strikeouts through 4 innings for Jared Eichhoff. He's struck out 6 of the last 7 outs that he's picked up. Rizzo knew it, I believe. We'll head to the bottom of the 4th. 1-0 Phillies. Toyota.com to find your RAV4 today. Toyota, let's go places. Let's go Phils. Phillies lead it 1-0 as we go to the bottom of the 4th inning. How about striking out 6 of the last 7 batters that he has faced? That's what Jared Eichhoff is running through right now. And this is the last batter, Anthony Rizzo.
Well, and I found it very interesting. They've been on the page. Him and Chooch have been on the whole page. But I love that Chooch wanted a fastball in. He struck no. He went slider, fastball away, changeup. Then all of a sudden he threw the 2 fingers down that he won the curveball. So you have a game plan going into it. You trust your catcher a lot, probably 95% of the time. But when you get that gut feeling that you want to throw that one pitch, it took 5 pitches to get to it, or 5 shakes. Good choice.
Michael Franco lifts it in the air to shallow right. Zobrist is out on the grass. And 1 away. Yeah, and you can tell by the body language of Eichhoff that he knew exactly what he wanted to throw.
And it can get frustrating as a catcher because you think in your mind you have the best pitch to throw at the time. But you're not the one that's throwing that pitch. He's going to have a better feel out on the mound. Yes, it's frustrating, but the bottom line is we have to get this hitter out. We have to do it efficiently and get our boys back in the dugout as soon as we can to go hit.
1 away for Ryan Howard. Howard walked his first time up. Howard lifts it in the air to right field. Going back on it is Hayward. It is gone! Into the first row. Ryan Howard, his 9th home run of the year. You want to talk about a nice easy swing. It's 2-0 Phillies on top.
Peace.
And another discussion we had in the office today, Matt. Extension through the baseball. What does that create? Backspin. That's extension right there.
Nice reaction too by the crowd on their feet cheering Ryan Howard.
Change up down in the zone, or a curveball, I'm sorry, and it's a hanger. Ryan Howard finishes up there though. And that's the swing that could take a ball out to left center. It's a swing that can take a ball out to right center, which you just saw.
And it made a winner out of Ann Reepsame of Pottstown. She won $100 thanks to Ryan Howard to the McDonald's home run jackpot.
Way to go, Ann.
Well, that's Ryan's first home run since the 11th of May. It's his 9th home run of the year.
Oh, decisions.
There's the 0-2 to Goodell. Little dribbler foul. And it remains 0-2. Well, Pete said that he'll wake up tomorrow. He said, this is how I do it. I start by putting Odubel Herrera in the leadoff spot. And now I put the pitcher in the 9 spot. And then I work from there as Goodell strikes out. He said today, meaning this lineup, he said, I started with Odubel. I put Eichhoff in the 9 spot. And then I started from there. And he goes, and I wound up with Freddie Galvis batting 3rd. Basically. And he had Ryan Howard sitting in the 5-hole. Pete said last night that he was playing Ryan today and would make a decision on how he was going to go moving forward. But he needed to get Ryan at bat since he hadn't started a game since the 31st of May. 1 ball, no strikes to Cody Ashley. He struck out looking his first time. And it's 1-1.
Has to feel good for Ryan. And I'm sure Pete feels good about it.
Ryan's been diligent underneath the stadium, working during course of games and even before games to try to find whatever the mechanical flaw is that he feels he needed to fix to set himself straight. One at bat doesn't do that, but that one's hit sharply on one hop, knocked down by Rizzo, but Hendricks was late getting there, and Ashe is safe at first. A base hit for Cody Ashe.
No sense of urgency there by Rizzo. And when I say no, I mean none. Yeah, I just get it and toss it over there. Hendricks wasn't there yet.
It's a great shot right there.
Great call.
Good hustle by Cody.
Get down the line because that ball was blistered to first base.
That's 2 times that we've seen in 5 innings. And going back to last night with Cesar Hernandez beating the pitcher to first base.
Now Ruiz, who lined out softly to shortstop his first time up. 1 ball and no strikes.
One thing about Carlos Ruiz that we talked about his last time he was hitting, about hitting uphill again, he needs to get back to doing that high tee work. Because you can see as soon as he starts his motion of getting into a hitter's power stance, we call, his hands drop. And when he does the high tee work, it keeps his hands on top of the baseball, almost like you have to drive your hands like you're chopping at a tree. But right now he's in that habit of, if his hands are good right there, he needs to leave them there. But he has a tendency to drop them a little bit.
Ball, 2 strikes out front of that off-speed pitch.
You know, another way that Chooch could do right now is lower his hands a little bit. And then as he gets back in that low to get his hands back in a position, now all of a sudden his hands are going back up in the zone.
Ashe goes, pitches outside, throw to second is not there in time. And Cody has a stolen base.
Miggy had a tough time getting that ball out of his mitt because Cody did not have the best jump, and Miggy knows it. See, Cody does not have a good jump. Looked like his footwork kind of got screwed up there, and that one you'd like to have back.
Montero heads out to talk to Hendricks, trying to get the sign straight with the runner at second base. Phillies fans, next time you want to purchase some good tickets, get the StubHub app. Not only will you find seats you'll love, whenever you want, you can find the best seat for your buck when you sort by best value. We take the price and location of seats and show you which tickets at StubHub give you the best deal. So get the StubHub app today. She was halfway to third, and he put the brakes on. 3 balls, 2 strikes.
Good play by Montero, but a better read by Cody Ashley. Very aggressive secondary lead did Cody have, but he knew to put the brakes on and not make that third out at third base.
Ryan Howard with his 366th career home run in this inning, and now Ruiz walks. And that puts runners on first and second. And Jared Eichhoff is coming up.
Oh, it's just a walk. He didn't get a hit. That's a great at-bat, Carlos. Great at-bat. Yes, you cleared the pitcher. Saw a lot of pitches. Getting Hendricks' pitch count up. Getting no more of a rhythm at home plate.
Good point. Very good point.
Eichhoff grounded out his first time up. Jared's thinking, I hope I get that pitch. Strike 3 call, and he's thinking again, I hope I get that pitch too. Phillies, though, get an extra run. They do so on the home run by Ryan Howard. Gave us 1 out here in the 4th inning. We got out front and got it just enough into the first row of seats. Phillies lead it 2-0 as we go to the top of the 5th inning here at Citizens Bank Park. Phillies up 2-0. Jared Eichhoff just finishing up his warm-up tosses out on the mound. He has 7 strikeouts through 4 innings. Phillies third base coach Juan Samuel joins us down in the dugout. All right, Sammy, I got to ask you real quick. The other night, the Phillies had a runner thrown out at home plate, and we were talking up here that it was a great move on your part just to try to initiate the action. when the offense struggles, does that creep into your head a little bit too? All right, I'm going to try to get something going here.
Of course, I'm always thinking the situation. We're not scoring run. It looked like it's going to be a very close ball game. So with 2 outs, we got to try to take as many chances as we can. As you guys know, we're not really scoring a whole lot of runs. So just trying to get things going.
Juan, what about with Goodell? In spring training, we saw him in left field the whole time. So far this year, he's played a lot of left field. Has he been doing a pretty good job in right field, and has he been working a lot extra in right?
Of course, Matt, it's completely different over there. The ball come off the bat differently, so he's taking a lot of reps out there in right field and in left field also. Also, Peter Borges is doing the same thing with Jimmy Paredes now on the club. You never know if these guys are going to play.
Yeah.
Sammy, we've seen Odubel Herrera make a few errors on ground balls and I know you're trying to address it. What is the one thing you want him to do better with the ground balls up the middle?
I just wanted to continue to come, charge balls. I think at times he's a little bit timid and laying back on balls instead of reading that happen coming through the ball.
Well, and that's something that he talked about too, Sammy, is trying to, because he even said when we asked him about it, he's not sure why he was bobbling all those baseballs.
I know, T, and I told him, I thought you used to play second base. What's going on? But, we just got to continue to work with him, make him understand, hey, you got to come through the ball. We cannot play the game that way thinking that I don't want to make a mistake. We have to go after it.
You made that adjustment, though, too, from the infield to the outfield. So you can kind of give him a little insight on, even your thoughts on doing that, too.
Of course. I mean, it's not easy, especially, with him. This is his only second year here. I think at times we forget that, hey, these guys are young and they're trying to get better.
Well, Tommy Listella's coming up now after the walk is over. Excuse me, Ben. Sorry about that.
Sure. So, Sammy, Odubel Herrera, I love the way he plays. Is the sky the limit for him?
Of course, with the enthusiasm that he brings, he's very aggressive. And this year we've seen him being a little bit more disciplined. Who knows where this guy is going to be?
The other thing, too, is he was just umpiring out in center field, too, Sammy, so he's an umpire as well.
He could do it all.
Yeah. Here is Tommy Listella. He takes a strike. It's
I thought maybe he was throwing his hands up saying, okay, where's Sammy? He's supposed to tell me to go left or right.
He might be looking for me, T.
The one thing I'd like to ask is that you've been around the game for so long. Has Michael Franco picked your brain a little bit towards not just defense, but maybe the type of approach that he should change a little bit, hitting wise to start sitting on certain pitches?
Of course, Hendo and I are being teaming up on him at times just to make him understand. Listen, each club has a guy or two that the opposing team don't want him to beat, and you're this guy here. He wants to hit so bad. I tell him we understand that, but maybe they don't want you to hit.
There's a ground ball through the hole on the right side. Zobrist will go to third. Little hit and run by the Cubs. That puts runners on first and third with nobody out. And it will bring Miguel Montero to the plate. Montero so far is 0 for 1. He struck out his first time up. Sammy, do you like the fact that a lot of these players are looking up to you and asking your advice on things like that?
I love it. I love teaching. That's somebody helped me to become the player that I was, and I just trying to pass it on, and having these guys come up to me and some of the other guys is outstanding. That's what we're here for.
All right, hey, we're going to let you go. We appreciate it as always, and we will chat with you again.
All right, guys, thank you.
All right, that's Juan Samuel, the Phillies third base coach. The Phillies watched the Cubs put runners on first and third with nobody out here in the fifth. And there's a chopper out towards second. Cesar charges, throws to first, and now they've got Listella in a rundown.
Nice job.
Yep, it'll be a double play. A run does score, but the Phillies get 2 outs on the play.
Well, and it's tremendous play. There's two parts of this. One, Cesar Hernandez getting the ball and running Listella back to first base, realizing now he's in no man's land. I just love the fact that Cesar comes in here and gets it on the big hop, charges the ball. Listella has to retreat. You give the ball up, but Ryan Howard is going full speed, making Listella run, giving the ball up. Now he's not doing the fake with the hand. He gives it up, dead duck. Take the 2 outs for the 1 run.
And here's Addison Russell. He takes a strike. It's 0-1. Yeah, that was crisp. You knew the run was going to score. They were conceding it anyway. Russell struck out his first time up. And it's low, 1-1. A changeup. Over toward third, and Michael Franco. And the inning is over.
What good pitchers do, they end threats, they end rallies. First and third, nobody out. You're thinking this might be a big inning for the Cubs. They're going to have the heart of the lineup coming up. It doesn't happen. You eliminate the rally. We're going to the bottom of the fifth.
Time now for our Citizens Bank minor league reports. And Dylan Cousins, the Eastern League Player of the Month. How about 9 home runs and 26 RBIs during the month of May? Jose Pujols is a South Atlantic League All-Star, 10 homers and 34. And Josh Tobias, a South Atlantic League All-Star as well. 286 with 32 RBIs. Pretty nice OPS of 807. Congratulations to those guys. Tobias last year playing college baseball at this point. Speaking of the minor leagues, Lehigh Valley leads Gwinnett 4-3. James Russell starting again for the Iron Pigs. He's gone 4 innings so far. We start the bottom of the fifth. Odubel Herrera leads it off. He's 0 for 2. He's lined out, and he's also flied out to right. And he whacks that one foul.
What a follow through.
It was a huge follow through.
Back-to-back at bats. His last at bat when he hit the fly ball to right, the exact same swing.
All right, so now if everything dictates what Pete said today, he's going to line a single to center field or right center, because Pete said that he's the only guy that's making adjustments. And he goes, now I say that, but because one time he'll be up there, he'll spin himself into the ground with a swing, and then he'll come back and hit a line drive back up the middle.
Come back in. Now he's going to go with a changeup away.
And he slaps it towards short. Picked on one hop by Russell. And Odubel a head first slide. Watch that finger. One away. Speaking of Odubel Herrera, Phillies fans, fill out your 2016 Esurance MLB All-Star Game ballot now at Phillies.com. You can do it on your computer, tablet, or smartphone. Vote up to 35 times. Vote today, vote tomorrow. Vote at Phillies.com/votes. Cesar Hernandez has grounded out to second base twice. And Freddie Galvis coming up. Well, that is a pretty sight right there. Looking to the edge of Center City. Budweiser Rooftop has some activity tonight. Freddie Galvis is now the hitter with 2 away in the bottom of the fifth. have to say Hendricks isn't too far off what we saw out in Wrigley Field. He doesn't have the same command, but he has enough command. At least it looks that way.
I would agree, and I think you can tell by some of the swings that the Philly hitters have taken. Only a few, way off balance. Herrera, that swing right there. But I think they've done a better job early in the game than they did against Chicago by seeing more pitches. And Ben said earlier with Chooch's at bat, yes, he didn't get a hit, but he got a walk. He got the pitch count up to get in the bullpen that's been a little shaky lately. And that's why they have bullpen action already.
Down the right field line, that is a foul ball.
And remember, walking and seeing 6, 7 pitches is just as good as getting a knock, because what it does is it gets your timing down for your next at bat. You spit on some close pitches, you're starting to feel pretty good, you get your timing down, that's when you start looking forward to your next at bat.
And a strike 3 called on the inside part of the plate. 6 Ks for Kyle Hendricks, and he retires the Phils in order here in the 5th. Is he done? Well, he's scheduled to lead off the top of the 6th. We'll find out when we return. Putting together an exceptionally strong first half of the season. Following his last start, Aaron ranks 3rd amongst National League starters in opponents' lowest on-base percentage. Since April 22nd, he has put together 9 consecutive quality starts, the longest stretch by a Philly since Cole Hamels did it 10 times in 2013. During that stretch, Noah has posted a 1.68 ERA, and opponents are hitting just .204. The right-hander has been dominant and still found time to greet his fans with gifts as they arrived on his birthday. And it's brought to you by Independence Blue Cross. Live fearless. Well, back here at Citizens Bank Park, a little bit of a delay because the fanatic had a little longer skit that he was working on in between innings. Jared Eichhoff is about ready to begin the top of the 6th inning. This is the skit. They had Miss Pennsylvania Collegiate, Miss Pennsylvania Junior High, and then Miss Galapagos Island came out and threw everybody, well, off kilter. Well, here's Albert Almora Jr., who was just called up by the Cubs today, making his major league debut, and he cracks one to 3rd, scooped up by Maikel Franco. One away. He's pinch hitting for Kyle Hendricks. It's interesting that Joe Maddon will take Hendricks out. He was just about 80 pitches. 81 pitches for Hendricks. But Joe does not follow the book, and it's made him so successful during his career. I guess he's thinking, I got to get some offense on a night where his offense has managed just 2 hits.
I would agree.
And it is only 1 run.
Yeah. Adam Warren, the right-hander, warming up in the pen. Here's Dexter Fowler. Fowler lifts it out to left field. Cody Ashe is under it. 2 outs, 2 quick outs for Eichhoff, and now Jason Hayward. Hayward is 0 for 2. He's lined out and he is struck out.
We're getting that type of time of night where the infielders have to make sure they help the outfielders out on the fly balls. It's getting a little tough to see.
That's what they're looking at as we zero in on 8:30 Eastern time. Throws a changeup with the count 2-0. It's 2-1.
That's a good pitch right there.
Sure is. Mike Winters said it was down. Bob McClure thought differently. So did Larry Boa. Dribbler up the first base line. It goes foul. Throws him a fastball, and it's 3-2. Chris Bryant waits on deck. He has a hit tonight in 2 official at bats.
Boys, what a great time if you have the confidence of throwing a changeup right here. Having that late movement.
Shook him off a couple times. Now he's ready to go. And low, ball 4, a 94-mile-an-hour fastball. Second walk issued by Eichhoff. And it brings Bryant to the plate. Sunday, June 19th, when the Phillies take on the Arizona Diamondbacks. It's Chevrolet Father's Appreciation Day. A Hawaiian shirt free to all men 15 and older. Make your plans now. Get your tickets at Phillies.com.
The leadoff walk hurt him last inning. Zobers came around to score. Let's hope the 2-out walk doesn't hurt him this inning.
Chris Bryant, 3 years ago today, was the first-round pick by the Chicago Cubs, the second overall pick in the Major League Baseball draft. He was second to Mark Appel, who was picked number 1 by the Astros.
Might see Hayward trying to steal second base here. 2 strikes in the hitter. The only reason why is if he throws him out of second base, you still have Bryant leading off the top of the 7th.
0-2 pitch. He threw a curveball and he pulls it foul toward the Cubs dugout.
You mentioned, Tom, last night, Brian out of the University of San Diego. I used to drive by there. It's right in Mission Valley where the old Qualcomm Stadium is.
Oh, is that where
Jack
it was?
Murphy.
I didn't realize that.
And it is beautiful. Of course.
So he wasn't crazy to go there, huh?
No, he was not. It is a gorgeous place. Right down the street from the ballpark. Well, the old ballpark where the Chargers play now.
No balls and 2 strikes. Hayward leads off first. And the pitch. Curveball low. Almost had him leaking after it, and it's 1-2.
His hips went, his front shoulder went, but his hands did not.
Got him. That time everything went. Got it with the curveball. 8 strikeouts for Jared Eichhoff. He works around the 2-out walk. He has pitched 6 innings and has allowed 1 run so far. He hasn't thrown a lot of curves, but he throws them when he needs them. And he picks up the strikeout. To you by WB Mason. You can't go wrong when you buy right. Buy Nissan. Shop ChooseNissan.com. And buy Xfinity. Xfinity X1 will change the way you experience TV. Bottom of the 6th inning, it'll be Franco. He's to your left, and Howard to start things off against Adam Warren. That's Franco. That's Howard. Warren, 21st ball game. He's 3-1, an ERA of 2.66. He's on a relief of Kyle Hendricks, who in 5 innings allowed only 4 hits, 2 runs, 2 walks, 6 strikeouts. He was not overburdened his last 2 starts, as Matt mentioned before. Just barely over 100 pitches. Well, it's time now for the Jeep Stump the Fans Trivia Quiz answer. All right, guys, the question is, who holds the Cubs single-season franchise record for strikeouts by a left-handed pitcher?
John Lester.
John Lester is correct, and I will give you the home version of the Jeep Stump the Fans if you tell me who he passed.
How long ago?
Crickets.
Back in the 70s.
Oh.
All right, well, you're not going to get the home version.
Well, come on now.
It was Ken Holtzman.
Oh, Ken.
Who had 2 strikeouts.
Sorry.
Maikel Franco will lead off, and he fouls it back. It's 0-2.
Everyone likes Jimmy Paredes' bat.
Chopper foul. I wonder what makes Jimmy Paredes' bat so special that Odubel's using it and Maikel Franco's using it.
Different feel. Maybe it's a model they've never seen before. They're both Marucci's.
I know a lot of people use my bat because I didn't get a lot of hits with them, so they figured there was a lot of hits in them.
To the left of the mound, Warren backhands and one away. One out now. Ryan Howard will come up. He's helped the Phils to this 2-1 lead.
Well, one thing Ben and I were talking about before the game was a left-handed hitter with the step back. Ryan Howard's back foot has been going across the home plate when he takes a swing. But all of a sudden, if you watch where his back foot lands, all of a sudden it's going to land over Mr. Winters' left or right shoulder, and it's going to come back towards the batter's box. That's what you call using your legs and doing the step back while you hit a home run. A lot of times when you step across home plate with your left leg, you're using your upper body. That swing there is using your lower half, using your hips on the point of contact, and that's the reason why you drive the ball out of the ballpark.
Fly ball, shallow left. Ryan's there, and he comes strolling in, puts it away. And I guess the next step, Matt and Ben, is just to keep doing that, you know, in some way, shape, or form.
Well, you want to get going towards the pitcher. You don't want to be swinging around. And when I say swinging, I mean with your body. Your body's going laterally. It should be moving forward.
Well, and for Howard, his last time up before that pop-up, he was moving forward.
Right.
So that was the key.
So you want everything going, if you're as a hitter, you want everything going out that way. You don't want everything going this way. Right? You want everything going out that way. That's how you create backspin. You don't want to start all of a sudden going this way with your upper body.
And that's the pop-up, let's say, for a left-hander to the left side.
Right, or the weak ground ball to first base. It's what it is you're cutting your swing off.
Goodell lines it out toward right field. Hayward's looking for the scoreboard. He reaches up and makes the catch. Side is retired in order. Phillies go down 1-2-3. We have played 6. On to the 7th. 2-1. Phillies on top. Time now for your Delaware Valley Honda dealers game summary. Phillies got single runs in the first and the fourth. Cubs, meanwhile, scored a run in the fifth. They got a leadoff walk that came around to score. So we will move to the 7th inning, and the Phillies are on top 2-1. Jared Eichhoff, 6 innings so far, 2 hits and 1 earned run, 8 strikeouts. And he'll continue. Kyle Hendricks pitched well for 5, was lifted for the 6th. Anthony Rizzo leads it off. And Rizzo goes after a high fastball. It's no balls and 1 strike. Rizzo's fly to left. He's also struck out. Pitch 0-2.
Last at bat, he had him 0-2. Tried to throw those cutters or that little slider inside to him.
Goes upstairs and he takes it for a ball. 1-2. Fly ball left field. Ashe going back. He's got room and makes the catch. A half step onto the warning track. 1 out. Ben Zobrist is coming up. Let's check in with Greg Murphy. Murph.
All right, thanks a lot, Todd. Well, an important day at the ballpark this afternoon. The Phillies are teaming up with Pennsylvania's Coalition Against Domestic Violence. Pete Mackanin was part of the afternoon today, as was Mike Stiles, Phillies Executive Vice President, Chief Operating Officer. And they honored Temple Police Captain Joe Garcia because he got the inaugural Male Leadership Award for making a personal commitment to end gender violence. Now, Captain Garcia is going to throw out the first pitch on Father's Day. This is a statewide campaign trying to help end gender violence, raise awareness, and it's certainly a very important topic to be talked about, especially in and around sports, and the Phillies teaming up with the Coalition Against Domestic Violence to make that happen. So a very important day today here at the ballpark.
Yeah, part of the reason why the city of Philadelphia is doing this is that last year Philadelphia was #2 in the state in domestic violence related homicides. It was an excellent ceremony. I love the fact that Pete's very personable, but Pete was able to voice the video that was up on the board here at Citizens Bank Park. Zobrist takes outside. It's 1 ball and 2 strikes. What did you think, Murph? Did he coach him enough to get him to be able to throw out the first pitch later on this year?
Yeah, he did give him a little bit of a lesson today, Captain Garcia, and then in 2 weeks he's going to be ready on Father's Day in front of a huge crowd here at Citizens Bank Park. I'm expecting a strike from Captain Garcia.
Well, you can check out more information on the Pennsylvania Coalition Against Domestic Violence by going to pcadv.org. That's pcadv.org. 2 balls, 2 strikes to Zobrist after a couple of close pitches. That one was not as close, a changeup, and it's 3-2. Zobrist has popped out, and he walked and scored. Popped him up. Galvis says he has it, so Franco gets out of the way. It's time now for our timeless moment, brought to you by Coors Banquet. Back in 2001, the Cubs swept a doubleheader versus the Cardinals and posted their 15th win in their last 16 games for the first time since 1945. The Cards were led by Matt Morris, who took a no-hitter into the 7th. Matt Stairs' double ended the no-hit bid.
Yeah, we end up getting 9 more hits after that.
So that wasn't your last no-hit bid breakup there. Since
No.
you did that one here at the ballpark.
Off the foul pole.
Off the foul pole.
Off of
David Bush.
Very good.
Thank you very much.
You're not getting the bill.
Inside 1-1. All right, so you doubled to break.
What was the count?
I don't remember
3-1.
that. 3-1. So you doubled to break up a no-hitter and
Yes.
homered to break up a no-hitter.
Yes.
And there's the 1-1 pitch.
And Ben
into
bunted
Tommy
to
LaStella. In there for a strike. It's now 1-2. The 95th pitch out of Jared Eichhoff.
Ground ball foul. It remains 1-2. I did that for Bob Brentley. He's watching in Arizona. play again. We're flashing back. Uh-oh, here we go. Oh, was it a beauty?
I mean, look at that placement. You couldn't throw it up there any better.
Looking
See
good.
the wheels?
Yeah, you were moving.
Flying.
Fly ball left center field. Going back on it is Odubel. So is Cody Ashley. Ashley's there, and he makes the catch. The side is retired.
I didn't know that was going to be part of the broadcast this evening.
We didn't either.
You just never know what's going to happen, man.
Time to stretch here in Philadelphia. Lead for the Phillies as we go to the bottom of the 7th inning, and a reminder that there's fireworks shows coming up. The Xfinity fireworks shows post game on Friday, July 1st and Saturday, July 2nd, when the Phillies take on the Kansas City Royals. Get your tickets now by going to Phillies.com. The Major League defending Major League champs, World Series champion, Kansas City Royals. Eichhoff 7 innings so far. Congratulations by John McLaren, Bob McClure. So it looks like his night is done. Hector Neris is warming up in the bullpen. Cody Ashley takes a strike from Adam Moore, and it's 0-1. I think the Phillies are trying to get back into the routine that they had for the first 7 weeks of the season, where they would get to Neris and Genmar Gomez with a lead, whether it be 2 or 1, a lot of times 1.
Well, they've hit a little bump in the road where they haven't had a chance to go 8-9 like they were for a while.
A loop out to right center field. Long run for Zobrist, and he makes the catch. Oh, nice play by Ben Zobrist. And 1 out here in the 7th inning.
It's a nice play, but pretty much just the bigger man wins. You see Listella going out there. It's like he was going after it as well. A little lack of communication, but Zobrist makes the play.
Carlos Ruiz 0 for 1. He lined out his first time up. Outside, 1 ball, no strikes. Jimmy Paredes with his bat is in the on-deck circle. And Carlos gets a base hit, a 1-out single.
Right, Chooch.
Eagles linebacker Michael Kendricks had a tough 2015 season. Now he's looking to start fresh in Jim Schwartz's new defense. He joins Derek Gunn and Ron Burke in studio on Quick Slants tomorrow night at 6 right here on CSN. Jimmy Paredes will be the batter. Miguel Montero is going to join Chris Bosio out on the mound.
Nice job by Jared Eichhoff. Really, really nice job.
Well, and it was a nice job by Ruiz here. I think, Ben, honestly, the comment you made in his last at bat by walking, seeing a lot of pitches, see how his hands stay high. It's just a matter of throwing the barrel down to the ball.
And it was looser with his upper body. Sometimes I think he gets too tight with his upper body, too tense, and it really slows his bat down. He's going at it too hard. That was a lot freer, a lot easier.
Fanatic is trying to get an advantage for the Phils with Paredes up, and he takes a strike 0-1. Paredes is a member of the Phillies, has 4 hits and 16 at bats. He's driven in 4 runs already. Oh, and 2. Ground ball foul, and it remains 0-2. Murph, you look at Jumpy down there like you want one of those foul balls to come your way.
We got a really cute kid right behind me. We're trying to get him one. That's what we're working on.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Be careful. Those balls are coming out there pretty quickly.
I can handle myself, Tom. Or I'll duck.
Runner goes, pitches low. Montero won't make a throw, and Ruiz has a stolen base.
Do it, Chooch. Do it all. The element of surprise at its finest. You're not going to hold me on? I'm going to take as much as you're going to give me. And that play's not even going to be close.
22 career stolen bases for Carlos Ruiz. Paredes tries to check. The ball gets away. They say he went. Going to third is Ruiz. They throw to first to get Paredes. There's a lot of moving parts going on there. It'll be a wild pitch to allow Carlos to go to third. And a strikeout 2-3 to get the second out of the inning.
Was a lot of moving parts here. Paredes definitely goes on this check swing. Why Montero tries to backhand that ball instead of blocking is beyond me. Able to get to it. Make the out at first base.
So pitching change for the Cubs. Phillies are on top by 1. We'll be back after this. for a Hyundai defensive play of the game. And this was a dandy.
This comes back all the way back into the first inning. See Russell making a very nice play right here. Weak line drive by Herrera. Nice timing. Showing to be a good athlete right there. Very good play. That is your Hyundai defensive play of the game, brought to you by local Hyundai dealers.
Addison Russell, a very young athletic shortstop who the Cubs acquired from the Oakland Athletics. Not a bad pickup. Clayton Richard is the new pitcher coming in for Chicago. 17th game, an ERA of 8. Carlos is over third base with 2 men down. This is the reason why they bring in the lefty, because of the lefty Odubel Herrera.
Where Chooch has to just take as much as LaStella will give him at third base, anticipating the ball in the dirt. 2 outs, might be able to make it.
Trying to go to the same spot. This time it's over the plate. It's 1-1.
Odubel agrees.
Ball and 2 strikes. It's a little different arm angle for Clayton Richard than what we saw when he was with the Padres.
When he was on my teammate, he was pretty much right over at the top. Do a little harder back then. Now all of a sudden he's dropping down a little bit farther.
Toyota Major League Scoreboard, Anthony Rendon, another RBI tonight. It's a 2-2 game, the Nationals and the Chicago White Sox. White Sox were one of the big stories in baseball for quite a while, sitting atop the division, but they are hovering right around the 500 mark. Third place in the American League Central. Over toward the hole, past the diving Tommy LaStella into left field, an RBI single, and that's some hitting right there by Odubel Herrera. It's now a 3-1 ball game.
Using the whole field, letting pitches get deep, and just putting it in play as opposed to striking out. Richard with a very good fastball here. He gets the foot down, just put it in play, and still hits the ball hard. The stolen base by Chooch was huge, and of course the wild pitch. I'm not saying Chooch would not have scored from second base. Odubel is very pleased with that effort.
It just brings a lot of, he's full of energy. It's great to see.
That's a big run.
We didn't see a lot of energy on that trip from Detroit to Chicago.
No.
But all of a sudden now you start getting the knocks and that energy comes back.
You may see him take off at some point, although he's still trying to figure out Clayton Richard's move here. Runner goes. Rizzo's throw to second base is not in time. He got to the edge of the bag. Zobrist pointed to the dugout, so he feels like he got Odubel. Dave Martinez on the horn. So we shall see. That's really close.
Wow.
It looked like he got him right before his fingers hit the bag. But I don't know if there'll be enough to overturn it. But we've been thinking that several times over the last 10 days, and we've been way off. So we'll allow New York to take a look at it. Mike Winters is joined by the second base umpire, Carlos Torres. They will chat about it to see if Odubel did get his hand in there in time. Boy, Boy, it's really close. It's really close to see from the angle that we showed you. I don't know if you're going to get a more definitive angle than that.
Man.
All right, so here it is. Zobrist has the ball. Odubel goes to the outfield side. The tag is made right there. And is his hand on the base or not? No, it looks like his hand is just shy of the base, but it's difficult to tell.
By the way, tremendous throw by Rizzo.
Yeah, excellent throw.
Stepped up and created a throwing lane. This is,
see, right there. And I can't tell if his finger's on the bag or not. You guys have a thought?
Yeah, my thought process is I've been wrong the whole year.
I think it's inconclusive.
It seems to lead you that way, but, you know, the other times that we thought that, we were wrong.
Murph, you're closer than anyone. What do you think?
Well, you know, honestly, I'm thinking perhaps he's out only because Odubel, when safe, generally jumps up and lets everybody know it. He didn't do that. I was expecting him to do that, and he didn't. So maybe he felt the tag on his shoulder before his hand got on the ball. Or on the base. I'm hoping that it's too close to call at this point.
Murph, Odubel did not want to sell it either way. He just wanted to make sure he was settled because he knows New York looks at, you know, everything he does.
I don't think he thinks that way.
Well, it's a good ask by Joe Madden to request it, and here is the decision. Ben, I think what you said is true. I don't think there was enough to overturn it. Even though I was saying that it looked like he got him by a hair. I mean, I'm just assuming that his hand wasn't on the bag. Watch it again. Tag there, right there.
I think his thumb's on the bag.
Yeah, I think his hand is on the bag. All right, so now they're going to walk Cesar Hernandez, and they'll allow Freddie Galvis to try to add some runs. Stolen base number 8, by the way, for Odubel. 2 minutes and 45 seconds for that review.
Well, he's safe. That's all we're concerned about. The Phillies have a chance to add on here.
So Cesar draws the walk. And now Freddie Galvis, well, he will not face Clayton Richard. He's going to face the right-hander. That's interesting. So Joe Madden will make the pitching change here. He'll bring in a right-hander to face Freddie Galvis. Switch him around to the left side of the plate.
Yeah, it's interesting, too, because Freddie had a tough night, we'll say, last night versus Lester with 3 strikeouts. And hit a home run to right field versus the right-hander.
So we'll see a right-hander when we return. they've got runners on first and second, and there's another pitching change for the Cubs. Justin Grimm, who last night allowed a 3-run home run to Freddie Galvis, is brought on to face Freddie Galvis again. Here's the home run.
It's a fastball down the middle. Tried to get it inside, and there's a lot of frustration that went into that swing, as Matt just said. 3 strikeouts against John Lester. I'd love to see that again.
Yeah, you wonder if Joe Madden is doing this on purpose to get Grimm back in to a situation where he regains his confidence, if there is a flaw in his confidence. I don't know if there is, because Galvis's numbers are better left-handed, power-wise, average slightly.
Not getting a fastball this time. First pitch.
Two as he fouls that one down the left field line. Back toward the mound, off the mound, picked up by Russell. And the inning is over. Phillies do get an insurance run, though, on the RBI single by Odubel Herrera, lefty on lefty. Yep, you can smile, guys. The Phillies are up 3-1 as we go to the 8th. Is brought to you by Toyota. For great summer deals, visit your local Toyota dealer or buy at Toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places. By McDonald's. Jumpstart your morning with a hot or iced McCafe coffee, now starting at just $1. And by your local Ford stores. Top of the 8th inning, 3-1 Phillies are on top. And Hector Neris will take over on the mound. Neris's numbers, 31 games, a 1-3 record, a 2.27 earned run average. He's on with a 2-run lead. Tyler Goodell moves from right field to left field. And going from left field to right field is Peter Borges, who's been a very solid defender for the Phillies this year. Well, this is what the Phillies had done a lot during the months of April and most of May. Get a lead to the 8th, to give it to Hector, who then gives it to Genmar Gomez.
It's been their MO.
Now, they haven't done that a lot recently because they haven't won a whole lot recently. Outside, 2 balls and no strikes.
So I personally would like to see Hector get back in that count right there with a fastball. It's a low to mid-90s fastball. He even throws it 2-0.
Four straight splits, and it's 2 balls, 2 strikes. Five straight splits. Cesar Hernandez is up with it. Oh man, that throw was way off the line. E4 allows Montero to reach safely. And that'll bring Addison Russell to the plate.
Now, with the throw, I don't think it was offline, but Hector Neris needs to go all the way through the bag. He kind of slows down a little bit, anticipating the throw. Now, if he would have made the play, yes, it would have been an unbelievable play. Cesar Hernandez knows he needs to make a better play, but as a pitcher, you need to go there full stride and not slow down, anticipate a bad throw.
You have to be more like a first baseman on that kind of play because it's different than, let's say, a first baseman tossing it to you.
Right.
It was a very smart play by Ryan Howard to let that ball go. He probably could have gotten to it, but it's a better angle for Cesar to throw that ball than Ryan.
Fastball, and it's 0-1. 95 on the heater from Hector.
That's what I'm talking about.
Over toward the hole, a base hit for Addison Russell. That'll put runners on first and second. And Javier Baez will come up as a pinch hitter. All right, so this is a big test for Hector Neris. Baez will pinch hit for Justin Grimm. Bob McClure heads out to the mound. The thing about this is that Hector got the ground ball, and on that particular play wasn't hit all that hard, but it was hit toward the vacant hole at shortstop.
Well, one thing I will say is that with Hector Neris on the mound, and I love the fact of what Ben said about he has a good fastball. He can hit 95, the mid-90 fastball. A lot of times now when you go up to face Hector Neris, especially the second time through, seeing him, a lot of guys will start laying off that split finger fastball. The scouting report will be get that fork ball up with the split finger up in the zone. He's thrown 517 pitches so far this year. He has only 73 called for a strike. Now, that being said, he's had 93 swing and misses.
It's remarkably low, though, than what you would think.
It is. It is. And I think that number will change a little bit when guys see him more often saying in certain situations, 2-0, 3-1, he's not going to throw me a fastball, so I don't need to try to jump ship. I can be relaxed, and I can make the ball get up in the zone.
Matt Caesar's on the pinch run at second base. As Javier Baez is up, they have Genmar Gomez warming up in the bullpen, so they may go to him for more than a 3-out save opportunity. One ball and no strikes to Baez. Swing and a miss. On the Toyota Major League scoreboard, the Marlins lead the Minnesota Twins 3-2. Derek Dietrich, the fourth leading hitter in the National League, has an RBI single. Minnesota 16-40.
I think you're not seeing Baez square around a bunt here for the simple fact that Neris is a strikeout pitcher. So if you do advance the runners, you have second and third with 1 out. Well, if he punches out the next hitter, then you could get out of the inning, whereas a sac fly or base hit right here could keep that inning going. You have 2 outs. If he punches out the next guy, then you're out of the inning with another out. So that's what's good about being a strikeout pitcher out of the bullpen.
Dexter Fowler is on deck. Ground ball through the hole on the left side. Caesar's around third. He'll be held there. He nearly went through the stop sign. They've got a chance. Nope. And the bases are loaded. And Dexter Fowler is coming up. An error and 2 straight hits. So the bases are loaded now for Fowler. I think Pete's debating right now, does he go and get him? Is Genmar ready? Carlos is going to buy a little time.
Just like you said before, though, Tom, he got another ground ball. Now, if this ball is hit 2 feet to the left, it's right at Maikel Franco. It's a double play.
All right, so a double switch now for Pete. He's going to go get Genmar Gomez with the bases loaded and nobody out here in the top of the 8th inning. The Phillies on top 3-1. Phillies on top. Hector Neris, who has been so reliable this year, is unable to get it out here in the 8th, so he'll give way to Genmar Gomez, his good friend. And Gomez, who has 18 saves this year, is going to try to get Dexter Fowler. Phillies will take the double play like they did earlier in this ball game. Back in the 5th inning. Well, this Thursday is the Phillies Festival. There are some tickets that are still available at Phillies.com or by calling 463-1000, 215-463-1000. You got the Philly Fanatic photo booth, autographs with all the players, the coaches, Matt, Ben. Again, call 215-463-1000 or go to Phillies.com. So Genmar facing Dexter Fowler, who is 0 for 3. A strikeout, a ground out, and a fly out. And the first pitch is in there. It's 0-1. Interesting thing about this is that Neris is more of a strikeout pitcher than Gomez is, but he just wasn't consistently finding the strike zone.
And I think right now you want the ground ball instead of the strikeout. You rather take 2 for 1. 2 outs and give up 1 run.
Fastball runs away, and it's 1-1.
You know, and plus Hector Neris' split finger has been more of a tumbler than a drop-off pitch.
On that fastball from Gomez. It runs right back.
With a ton of movement. Inside fastball. Sorry, Ben.
No, not a whole lot you can do with that one. Fowler gives up on it.
Now throw a 4-seamer in there. He thinks it's going to be a 2-seamer. Blow up the bat.
The 1-2 pitch. Way inside.
4-seamer.
Whoa. He almost blew up his hip. Never mind the bat.
Phillies are lucky that didn't even just graze his shirt.
That hits me right in my ab.
2-2 to Fowler.
See, Genmar feels good. I think right now he's just overthrowing a bit.
Good speed on the base paths with Caesar at third, Russell at second base, and Baez around at first. It's 3 balls, 2 strikes. Hayward waits on deck. Fly ball left field. Goodell is under it. Caesar will tag. Throw will go to third. And a run scores. A sacrifice fly. It's an unearned run. And it's a 3-2 ball game. And the double play is still in order.
That's the biggest key. Genmar made the pitch he needed to make. You don't see a whole lot of balls in the air off of Genmar because of that sinking motion. He's able to get a lot of his different pitches on the ground, whether that be that sinker, the changeup, or the slider.
Hayward is 0 for 2, walked his last time. 0-1. Ground ball back toward the middle. Blanco's got it. Flips to second for 1. Over to first. What a double play!
Hello!
4-6-3 with a little magic dust on it. Andres Blanco starts it. And Freddie Galvis is able to turn it at second base. What a job by Genmar Gomez. Take a look how hard this ball was hit. And watch Freddie just get rid of it real quick. And the side is retired. The Cubs do get a run, but they leave one. We'll head to the bottom of the 8th. Time now for our GMC Precision plays of the game.
You just saw it right here. The sac fly by Dexter Fowler gets it out to left field. Tyler makes it throw to third base, keeping that double play in order. Andres Blanco gets over and smothers that ball, hit by Jason Hayward, I'm sorry, and then Freddie able to complete that double play. And that is your GMC Precision play of the game.
Well, as we go to the bottom of the 8th inning, it'll be Maikel Franco to lead things off. David Ross takes over behind the plate. Montero was pinch run for. Trevor Cahill's into the ball game, his 22nd. By the way, no outs recorded by Hector, but 1 run scores. It was an unearned run. And Genmar Gomez will continue in the top of the 9th inning. Phillies look to add to their lead again. Franco's 1 for 3. Whacks that one off his foot. And he'll take a stroll to try to get it out.
Off the heel. Huh.
Trevor Cahill, former starting pitcher for the Diamondbacks and the Atlanta Braves. In fact, last year the Braves thought that he would be a bridge for some of their younger pitchers. It didn't work out. He was getting hit all around. As a reliever, though, he's totally different. He gets a strike out of Franco here in the 8th. Let's check in with Greg Murphy. He's going to update us on what's going on around baseball. Murphy.
All right, thank you very much, Tom. Yes, it's our greater coverage of baseball presented by T-Mobile. Johnny Peralta finally back in the lineup for the St. Louis Cardinals. Of course, he had that thumb surgery in March after tearing a ligament during spring training. Has not played all season, but finally back in their lineup today. But there is a catch. Of course, they're starting shortstop for many, many years, but now playing third base because their rookie Diaz, who just started the season in place of Peralta, is having an amazing year. So they're keeping him at shortstop. Peralta moves over to third, but was back in the lineup. And also, speaking of out of the lineup, how about Mark Teixeira for the New York Yankees? We told you he had some torn knee ligaments and he was opting whether or not to have surgery or to try and play through the pain. He is going to try and play through it. He got some cortisone shots. They're going to rest him for a little bit. He is not going to have surgery at this point, hoping to be back in a couple of weeks and able to play the rest of the season through the torn ligaments. That remains to be seen. So Mark Teixeira waits and sees.
Ryan Howard lets wait and see out toward the wall, and it's tracked down by Fowler. Just missed it. 2 outs.
And he hits it to one of the deepest parts of the park, only 3 feet shy of the deepest part of the park. It's another hanging breaking ball, which he hit out earlier in the game. In the 4th inning, drives it out to center field. Fowler gets underneath and makes the play.
Tyler Goodell ducks, and it's 1 ball and no strikes. One and one. You know, those 2 stories that Murph was talking about, those are big time stories, because with Peralta going to third base, it moves Carpenter to second base. Colton Wong was expected to be their second baseman forever, right, in St. Louis. He's been sent down in the minor leagues. And the Teixeira story is big because the Yankees are debating right now whether they're going to trade some of those guys in the back end of their bullpen. And if they're healthy, is it an aberration? Can they get back in the race, or do they trade Aroldis Chapman and Andrew Miller? 3-2 to Tyler Goodell.
Andrew Miller's numbers this year are silly. I don't know other way to put it. They're amazing.
So the Yankees are 6.5 back, 27 and 30. As Goodell draws the 2-out walk, and Peter Borges will come up. Borges 196. He had a bunt single in last night's game.
Miller has 45 strikeouts in 24 2/3 innings.
It's a terrible starting pitcher, but he's a really good reliever. Third, big hop for the Stella, and the inning is over. 5-3 on the putout. No runs, no hits, one man left for the Phils. It's on to the 9th inning. Genmar Gomez needs 3 more outs, and that's the lineup he has to face. And every time the Phillies throw a 1-2-3, Comcast will make a contribution to Phillies charities. Phillies baseball is brought to you by Xfinity. Xfinity X1 will change the way you experience TV. On to the top of the 9th inning. And it will be Chris Bryant to lead it off against Genmar Gomez. Gomez has been credited with 1 inning so far. And he needs to get another inning in order to take over the league lead again in saves. He's tied for the major league lead. Larry Boa directing the infield, moving Blanco around right now. Blanco at second base is shaded toward the middle. Ryan Howard is all by his lonesome over on the first base side. First pitch is outside. It's 1-0. Well, Gomez has pitched more than an inning in relief before. He's never done it, though, to get a save. And that's only because he's never been a closer until this year.
I don't think it'll affect the way he's going to approach these hitters. He's only at 9 pitches.
Bryant fouls it down the right field line. Milwaukee is shutting out Oakland 5-0. Zach Davies, a no-hitter through 5. Make it 6. I'm sorry. And they've started the top of the 7th inning out there. 1-2 pitch. Check swing. Did he go? No. Come on, Mark. Go along with us.
I think he does hold up here.
Oof, that was a lot closer than I thought. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Swing and a miss. Boy, he is throwing every bit of his arsenal against the Cubs. 1 out here in the 9th inning.
And as a hitter, it's tough because you're late in this ball game. You're thinking, oh, he's going to want to be aggressive, want to work ahead. The problem for these hitters is Genmar can get ahead with a lot of different pitches. He can throw the slider that's just a get me over slider, or he can throw this one. This is the put away slider. Bryant well out in front. The 3rd time he's gone down tonight on breaking balls.
Anthony Rizzo is 0 for 3. That one's pulled to the right side. Blanco can't get it. He overran it with his dive. And a base hit for Rizzo. Essentially, he dove past it, it looked like. Or over it. Excellent effort.
Ranging to his right. You're right, Tom. Right over top.
Oh, he made an excellent play to start that double play in the 8th inning. That one, though, I think you go back and look at it.
He actually dove at it like it was hit harder.
Maybe, yeah. Deceptive. Zobrist is 0 for 2 with a walk and a run scored.
Nice pitch.
Pete McCann asked his closer to get 6 outs. He's gotten 4 of them so far. Joe Madden, his team has made it a 1-run ball game, capitalizing on an error in the 8th inning. And now they've got the potential tying run aboard with 1 out. No balls and 2 strikes to Zobrist. Ground ball right side. Howard's got it. Goes to second for 1. Over to first. Nice play by Genmar to make sure that ball doesn't get past him. They do get the lead runner. 3-6 on the putout. 2 away. And let's hope he's okay. He looks like he is.
Well, they get the out of second base. Ryan does a nice toss right here. Freddie Galvis probably want to hold on to that baseball.
Yes.
Knowing that probably not going to roll a double play.
Hey, how about this, though? I mean, look at Rizzo. Rizzo goes at Freddie Galvis. He doesn't slide right at the bag. He slides at the infield. They've opted not to look at that and see if it was a violation. Tommy La Stella's the batter with a runner at first. Zobrist takes his lead. Outside, 1-0.
I do like Ryan being aggressive there, getting that lead runner.
I also like the fact that he stayed with that tough in-between hop. I mean, they're showing some pretty good hands.
Two and 0. David Ross is on deck. Two balls and one strike. Cubs have won the first 4 games of the season series. Phillies are trying to gather a victory here. It's 2 balls and 1 strike and a toss over to first. A reminder, tomorrow the Phillies will be on at 1 o'clock on Comcast Sportsnet, wrapping up this series. Velasquez on the mound for the Phils, Lackey on the mound for the Cubs. Been celebrating a birthday today. 2 balls and 1 strike to La Stella. Fly ball down the left field line and out of play. It's 2-2.
You might see Genmar run that 2-seamer in on La Stella, bring it back over the inside part of the plate, or he could just stay with something soft away. If I'm going to get beat here by La Stella, I'd like him to beat me away. Does that mean you got to stay away from the inside part of the plate? No. If you think you can get it in there and make a quality pitch, punch him out, and have at it.
Shakes him off a couple times. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Runner at first. The pitch. Outside, 3-2. David Ross off the bench. Came on to take over for Montero. Zobrist will take off on this pitch. Howard plays a step behind him.
But you have to stay there. You can't let Zobrist get a big jump.
3-2 pitch. And a line drive toward right center field. Borges on the run. He won't get it. He plays it on a hop. Zobrist is being held at third. And the tying run is now at third base with 2 men down. Tommy La Stella with his 2nd hit of the night.
I really thought that ball was going to get in that gap in right center. But Peter Borges getting back and cutting that baseball off. That ball gets in that gap. This is a tie ball game. Peter gets there, knows he cannot lay out in case he does miss it. It's going to get by him for sure. Makes a good relay throw. And there's one frustrated fan right there.
Well, he's not alone. La Stella being pinch run for by Travis Wood.
Also, hats off to Peter Borges, 1, for cutting that ball off, but 2, it looked like he wanted to dive, staying on his feet.
Well, meeting on the mound, and Bob McClure is running right through the stop sign, using all the time and then more. So he'll leave. David Ross will dig in. Ross started last night's game. He's got Zobrist over at third base. And Wood over at first. First pitch fouled back toward the Hall of Fame club. No balls and 1 strike. Ross being aggressive in this RBI situation. Part of that is because Gomez does have all these different pitches that he can use if he gets ahead. Zobrist hustling on that fielder's choice kept the inning alive, and now he's over at third. No balls, 1 strike. They play Ross to pull in the infield. Ground ball softly towards short. Galvis is up with it. Heads it over to first in time, and the ball game is over. Genmar Gomez, a 6-out save. It's his major league leading 19th save of the season, and the Phillies hang on for a 1-run victory. 3-2 the final score. Boy, nothing is easy, is it?
No, it's not.
Makes it exhilarating when it's successful.
And a win is a win is a win.
Prophetic.
What a job by Genmar Gomez.
Incredible job.
Alive.
Amazing how those frowns and that anguish turned into smiles very quickly. There's a sense of relief on the ball club's face, and where's that young fan we showed you before? I'm sure there's a sense of relief on his face. Our W.B. Mason delivery of the game, off the batter, Ryan Howard.
Came back in the 4th inning. He gets a breaking ball up in the zone, uses his lower half very nicely, drives it just out over the fence in right field. His first home run since May 12th, and he is on the field with our own Greg Murph. Perfect.
All right, thank you very much, guys. Yeah, getting it done with the glove there in the 9th inning, but also getting it done with the bat. Let's talk about the at-bat, the home run. It was obviously a big part of this game, and hanging curveball, I guess, and you were able to get those arms extended through.
Yeah, it just left me a first pitch hanging curveball and just saw it really well and was able to put a good swing on it, and fortunately it went out for me.
There has been a lot of talk about what you are working on, and you have talked about it at length, about things you're working on in the cage, tweaking here and there. Can you tell us a little bit about what you are doing and how it worked tonight?
No, I cannot.
Please do.
No, I can't. No, man, I've just been, just been in the cage, just trying to put in work and just working on seeing the ball and trusting it. So try to take it out here today and had some good at-bats.
It has been a unique week. I think that is one way of characterizing it for you with all the things that have happened. How would you think about this? How would you describe this week when asked about it?
I mean, it's been crazy. I mean, there's no doubt about that. But I just try to stay focused on my work, what I need to do, and just stay focused on what I need to do on the field.
Whether you're on the field or you're back here in the dugout this week, you look at this team and you're a big part of this team, and a win against the Cubs, and they've been hard to come by. How important was tonight?
Oh, it's huge. I mean, you're playing against a team like the Cubs are definitely going to be a playoff team, and this is where you kind of see where you can stack up, and when you have close games like this, I think it really shows what you're made of, and this team didn't quit. We didn't quit last night, and we were able to come out here tonight and get it done.
Right, thanks for your time. Appreciate it. Guys, back upstairs.
All right, Murph, we appreciate that. Our thanks to Ryan Howard. He provided our W.B. Mason delivery of the game and our Chevy player of the game. Boy, it seems like it was a day ago that Jared Eichhoff was out on the mounds.
He was great tonight, and I don't think we really gave enough credit because he was that good this evening. Had them all going. Better fastball command. We saw that fastball get up to 94 miles an hour. Of course, he had the big hook, but a very good job of throwing the changeup today. Mixed in some sliders as well. I really like the fact that he trusted his changeup today and was able to throw that majority to the lefties, but he was very good, and that is why he is your Chevrolet player of the game.
Well, this is the final out of the game. Freddie Galvis knew that he did not have a quick runner, so he was able to take that throw over to first base, and Genmar Gomez recorded the save. We'll be back to wrap it up right after this.